Hello ladies and gentlemen, Keaton here and welcome to the Tengu Drop recap for the week of July 12th, 2015. I am, as usual, running down everything that we released on the channel this week, so let us begin with Monday. On Monday, Joe released the video I actually mentioned last week, which was his sort of presentation of what Shenmue 3 means to him, and he talks pretty in depth about how Shenmue really affected his life, a nice little background, you know, of Shenmue in general, and what Shenmue 3 means to him as a fan, and his opinions, sort of an extended discussion of what we originally talked about on the Drop Pod. So if you're at all curious or you wanted to hear more about Joe's opinions on Shenmue in general, you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. On Tuesday, I took a look at a game called 100% Orange Juice. Now, I know the name sounds weird, but the concept is pretty cool in my opinion. It mixes board games with card games with dice roll games. If you can look past the whole cutesy anime aesthetic, it's actually a pretty solid game in my opinion. Very hype. I get hype as hell towards the end. Not gonna spoil it, but when I was editing it, I didn't realize some of the things that happened that end up having an important factor on the end of the game. So it's pretty crazy to see that the actual progression of that game was much more intense than I originally realized. But moving on to Wednesday. On Wednesday, Joe continued, giving Shenmue some love with a story sequence from the first game, which is a fight scene that takes place on the harbor. You're fighting 70 people, and Joe pretty much walks you through that entire sequence. Pretty cool to see. It's an action-packed moment from Shenmue. So, if you are not very familiar with Shenmue stuff and you want to hear, probably one of the biggest fans of Shenmue, gush about this sequence, definitely check it out. On Wednesday, we also took a look at the Alpha 12 update for 7 Days to Die. We look at the motorbikes, we look at some bears, and we look at the hospital, and a few other little kinks and doodads that occur in the crazy survival ridiculousness that is zombie survival in 7 Days to Die. And not going to spoil too much, but we are definitely going to come back to this because motorbikes have so much potential for video content. We are probably going to go crazy with that at some point. So yeah, definitely check out our first impressions if you haven't already. On Thursday, it was Nuclear Throne Roulette time. It was time to return to the thing that you guys love so much, and I'm so glad you guys love this series so much because I enjoy making it. Yeah, it was more Nuclear Throne. It was more the game trolling me and a legitimate moment where I lost my mind, man. Things happen. I'll just leave it at that. Fun fact, the way I edit Nuclear Throne Roulette these days is I do a 2-pass edit. I do the initial edit and then I go back and refine it. I could not do that with this week's video because watching it back just made me mad all over again, and just talking about it now makes me mad once again. So I'm going to move on to Friday. On Friday, Joe and I jumped back into the world of Orion with an attempt to look at some of the other modes in the game, and we came up very surprised. I won't spoil what happens exactly, but we are met with some very interesting enemies in a game about surviving dinosaurs. But nonetheless, there's a nice progression there where we learn how to actually play the game with 2 people in a game that was probably not developed with 2 people in mind. So, yeah. On Saturday, it was time for more Left 4 Dead 2, continuing the Titanic map with our lovely anime avatars. It's more Left 4 Dead, more zombie killing, more trying to survive the Titanic as anime girls. As weird as that sounds, is there an anime like that? If not, we should all start a Kickstarter and make it. I don't know. Anyway, that was the week in Tengu Drop videos. What can you expect next week? Well, we will definitely be doing more Left 4 Dead 2, and other than that, everything is up in the air. We had plans this week. A lot of them we weren't able to actually manage to get done, so as always, it's hard to promise things, but I guess that's become part of the fun, part of the allure, if you will, the mystery of what is to come. So, to make sure that you are not out of the loop next week, be sure to catch up with everything that you might have missed this week. Everything is in the description for your convenience, so get caught up on everything you might have missed. And for those of you who are caught up, watch, share, like, comment, all of that amazing supportive stuff, thank you! And hello to all the new subscribers for the week. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. And until next week, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys then for another Tengu Drop recap. Bye!